Hey, it's Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom. Today we're going to make an Easter wreath on our patent pending pancake wreath frame. This was a kit available in our shop. Actually, it still is a kit. There's still a few left. So the kit comes with the sign itself, the two zip tie mounts that go on the back, the pipe cleaners, the pancake bundle, which is the 14-inch, the 10-inch, and the sign extender, a full roll of mesh, 4 ribbons for your bow, the pipe cleaners, and 2 ribbons for your ribbon tails. Now there's a special video that is for cutting available on our YouTube channel. It just is cutting instructions for our kit. Just a general, it's actually a different Easter kit, but it's the cutting instructions because they're all basically the same unless otherwise noted in your video. So our kits come with an instructional video. Today we're going to use the 14-inch frame. So I'm going to set aside the 10-inch frame and the sign extender. You do have enough on this roll to complete your 14-inch and a 10-inch. Don't forget to watch that cutting instruction video so you can see which part of the mesh I use for the 10-inch. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for now. And we're going to get started. I think the actual kit came with white pipe cleaners, I think. I'm not sure. Either way, our pipe cleaners, we're not going to see them in the end, so it doesn't really matter what color you use. So I'm going to use the tan ones today because they were handy and close. I didn't have enough on in that white bundle for me. And so I'm going to just go here wherever there's a notch and a hole that coordinate. That's where I'm going to put my pipe cleaner. And I'm going to tie my twist tie. I'm going to tie that pipe cleaner close to that notch. Not inside the notch, but on the top, I'm going to tie it close. So on the outside, I'm going to tie it close to the outside. And on the inside, I'm going to tie it close to the inside. So I'm just going to do that all the way around. Now it's going to help with our separation for our layers. In the end, you'll see we do one last trick at the very end to help separate our layers. Y'all, this was a kit, and our friends on our email list did get first dibs. So if you haven't joined our email list yet, you can go to learnfrommelissa.com. Learnfrommelissa.com. There you'll enter in your email address, and it'll be automatically added to our email list. And then once you get inside there and you've put in your email address, you'll come to a list of links from us that includes our phone number, some free resources, some free videos, a list of our favorite suppliers, a list of our favorite tools, and so many other things available. So learnfrommelissa.com. You can see any of our upcoming classes that we might have. All the stuff. Okay, pipe cleaners are on. I'm going to start with our mesh. Now, I already pre-cut our mesh on purpose so that this video went a little bit quicker. Our mesh is 20 inches long. I'm going to ruffle straight up that center. Now, this is one of my favorite meshes to work with. It's a fabric mesh, so it's a little softer on my fingers. And since my thumb has been giving me troubles right where I ruffle, this is a little nicer paste than just the regular Deco Mesh. So I'm going to put that in there, overlap it. So we called this the pancake frame for the pancake wreath because our pancake ruffles, are round, mostly round, but flat like a pancake. So the overall design, the end design, will fit nicely between, not all, but most doors. So you have your main door and your storm door, your screen door. Folks here in Michigan like to hang their wreaths between the doors. So I had to come up with something that was a little thinner, different design instead of some poofy big, which I love, by the way. So we have our ruffles that are going to be overlapped here. I'm just making sure that those inside pipe cleaners are going to be ready for me when I come around for round 2. But for right now, on the outside, I'm just making sure that my ruffles overlap and everything is a little more flat than normal. Okay, nice small pinch right there, coming right down into that pipe cleaner, gentle, moving that away. So also in that cutting instruction video that I was talking about, I talked a little bit about some tips on how to help your mesh from fraying. I had talked about how to identify if you've purchased a kit from us. I've talked about how to identify what ribbons are your ribbon tails, which ones are your for your bow. So I talked about how to prep your sign to get ready. So even if you haven't purchased a kit from us, it's a really good informational video to watch. Again, it's right on YouTube, and the title of it is Cutting Instructions. So you want to make sure you check out that. Now that I think about it, maybe I should make a separate folder section in our YouTube that is just for cutting instructions, since most of our triple kit videos have their own set of instructions also. So most, not all, most of our kits have their own set of instructions, just like this. I make and sell wreaths also, so of course I have to make it, and so therefore I record it while I make it. I sell on Etsy and I sell at a local boutique. Sometimes I'll still do craft shows or craft night. Sometimes. It's just a matter of if it fits in my travel schedule. I love this mesh, by the way. So stinking cute. Matches our sign perfectly. Now, you're not going to see a lot of it in the end, but that pink and white will peek through, and it'll be super cute. Again, nice and easy on my little fingers with that fabric mesh. So nice to work with. Now, again, it is a cut material. It's a woven material, so you are going to see fraying. Our job is to get that in there and leave it. Don't touch it from here, okay? Don't mess with the ruffles. Just let them live their whole lives out being they're just exactly how they are. Once you put them in and start messing with them more, you'll start to see it fraying more. Just leave it just like that. And we're going to go in with our ribbon. So I started with I put two 2.5 inch ribbons. I put my favorite on the top, just like I talked about in the video. Put my favorite on the top, and then those cute little trucks are going to peek through here and there. Hello, Spring. So cute. So 14 inches long, fold, find the center, unfold, scrunch it up. Everything kind of forms facing out towards you. So form it out towards you so that when you drop it in there and put it in your pipe cleaner, crisscross, twist, 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 about 7 or 8 times, all those come out towards the edge. Because what goes in the middle of this, you're not going to end up seeing, because we're going to put a nice sign on the center and a nice bow. So any ribbon tails that end up going inside in this design, in the pancake wreath, you're not going to see it. So make sure everything comes out towards the edge. And then one last thing I'm going to do is pull those apart, pull them apart up and down and side to side. Pull them apart up and down and side to side. Make sure you're doing that part, because then you get to place your ribbon and they will mostly stay right where you put them. And we're going to keep that pattern too. Trucks, eggs, all the way around so that your eye goes around nice and easy and looks at it like a whole, rather than it being choppy and we have eggs, trucks, eggs. We don't want to do that. We just want it to go real smoothly around. Let your eye peek through and see everything real smooth. Very nice there. So we're going to do the same thing all the way around. Scrunch it up, out towards the edge. Put it right in. Crisscross. Twist it 7 or 8 times until this is maybe about 1 inch. I just want, when I pull these apart up and down and pull them apart side to side, I just want to make sure that that isn't going to come apart. Okay, I don't want it to come apart. Right? Perfect. So pretty. So what I'm going to do just really quickly, I'm going to add in the rest, and then we'll spread them apart all together at the same time, just to go a little bit quicker. Now, if you are trying to follow along, I know I'm going fast. I know I'm going fast. Just pause. Pause it and catch up. Practice. If you purchase this as a kit, pause it, practice. Go back. So when I very first started really learning technique and I wanted to start really perfecting what I did, that's exactly what I did. I followed a gal. Her name is Lisa from Kellum's Creations. She's just the sweetest. She is just like me, but in an older version. I love her, love her. Scatterbrained, all over the place, just exactly like me. And I would watch her and pause it so I could get the technique. I could practice, I could do it. I would play it again, practice, pause it. I did the same exact thing. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire cutter. Again, a list of all of our favorite tools can be found if you go to that learnfrommelissa.com. There's a list of our favorite tools. So I'm going to go around and just clip off the excess here. I don't need it. I could leave it because technically you're not going to see it. But just for the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and cut those off. Now, I mean you wouldn't see it because I could push it all the way in and anything underneath here, remember, is just going to get covered up. So then I'm going to go from here, go back to my other ones that I already started. Okay, now from here, I'm going to push straight down, which I didn't do here. Straight down, which I didn't do there. I'm going to push straight down, okay? It's going to kind of help keep that little section in place. Pull it apart, up and down, pull it apart, side to side. Again, keeping that truck, egg, truck, egg, truck, egg. Keeping that pattern all the way around. Yeah, I'd love to hear if you've made wreaths before. Let me know in the comments. If you've made a pancake wreath before or used the pancake frame before. I would love to know. And I would also love to know if any of the little tips that we say here in this video, which tip as far as the pancake wreath design, which tip you didn't know and that you think will help you, like pushing that down or making sure your ribbons are pulled apart up and down, pulled apart side to side. You definitely want to make sure you're doing that for sure. Now, once I put these in place, I'm not going to touch them again until the end. Remember I said put your mesh in place, then don't touch it. I'm going to do the same things for my ribbons. Put it in place and then don't touch it. Put it in place and then don't touch it. Okay. Put it in place and then don't touch it. There we go. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I'm going to go around to the same thing with our other set of mesh. Again, I made sure I cut it in a certain specific way. All the stuff is very specific to making sure you get the most out of your roll of mesh, making sure you get the most out of your rolls of ribbon when you get ribbon. Now again, this was provided as a kit, so everything you see here did come with the kit, and we still have a couple of those left. All right, coming up right up the center, again, I just love this mesh because it's so soft, and my little thumb is cracking so bad, so I'm going to just ruffle right up the center. It's so nice. Now, in the cutting instruction video, you'll notice that I did cut in a specific way. I cut the first 6 pieces went for my 10-inch frame. The next 6 pieces went for the outside of this frame. And then the last 6 pieces go for the inside. Now, as you see, maybe you didn't. I don't know what I did with it. I actually cut off the first 6 pieces and I used those and the outside here. I just didn't cut the whole roll. Because I'll be honest, I got a backup going of the, and I'll show you, of the first 6 pieces that I take off. I'll roll them up so that I can use them for the 10-inch frame. And I have a backup here of that extra mesh kind of just hanging out. So I was trying to eliminate the backup that's going. And so that's the only reason why I didn't cut that those first 6 pieces and use it for my 10-inch. I gotta catch up on those before I add more to that pile. So But the pieces that are around that last, the inside of the roll, I can't even find where I put it. Oh, I put it over here. Sorry. These pieces, they don't want to expand, like they just want to, you see, they're little. And so I'm okay with using those. It's perfect to use those on the inside here because you have so many things underneath to catch it and to help keep those pieces that want to stay nice and tightly wound. You have so much underneath here to help keep that in place. So again, all very specific places, cuts, things for the mesh. Again, even if you haven't purchased any of our kits, I still highly recommend that one specific video. It just has a lot of information in it to help. Just little tips, just little teeny tiny tips. There we go. Okay, there we are. All right. Coming in. Again, going right on top. I'm not moving anything out of the way on that top layer. I'm going directly on the top. Now, having a recipe like this, that you just, now I'm not saying you have to have the pancake recipe, although I'd be honored if you did. Having a recipe that you go to that you know automatically how much mesh you need, how long your ribbons are, how your exact size of the bow even, helps your overall designing process and your selecting process go so much quicker, okay? So if I know the measurements, if I can look at a roll of mesh and say, okay, I'll have enough on that left over, I'll have enough on this, I'll have the, it's just makes the design process go quicker, and it makes it easier to budget your design. You know, kind of automatically what your price range is going to be per design, making your end pricing game so much easier. I did teach a whole entire class on pricing. So if you were looking to help learn more, my method, what I do, how I've done it, why, which is the most important part. Sometimes you really have to understand why. And then it will make your whole entire pricing journey go so much smoother and easier. There we go. All right, so mesh on the top, done. Now again, that outer layer of ribbon, nicely put in there, trying not to play with it, making sure I'm not, you know, touching too many things. Not only, if I'm playing with this mesh, not only is it wasting my time, but it's also helping that fray there. And I don't know if you can see, but it is fraying, okay? It is fraying. It's a woven material. You just cut it. It's gonna fray. Put it in there nice and gentle. Don't touch it, okay? Put it in there nice and gentle. Don't touch it. When you put on your next layer of ribbon, your sign, your bow, everything is going to come into the background. So if you're looking at it, if you're particular looking at it and you're going, oh, I can see it fraying, it's fine. Don't worry. Just keep going, okay? I promise no one I've sold, I don't know how many, for sure hundreds. I don't know if I can technically say thousands, but I know I've sold a lot of wreaths over the years. No one has come back to me and said, hey, this is fraying. Not one, okay? Not one. And I don't even have to knock on wood because I know that it just isn't a thing. Once you put it in, leave it. No one's going to be in there playing and looking. No, don't worry about it. All right, we're going to go in there, the same thing, 14 inches on our ribbon. Put my favorite ribbon on the top. I'm going to go in the same exact pattern as I did on the outside. Crisscross, twist, 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 twist. Okay, crisscross, twist, 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 twist. Again, trying to make it so that that twist is about an inch long, so that I can feel very confident when I pull them. Remember I said up and down, side to side. Excuse me. I want to make sure that when I pull them up and down, that pipe cleaner isn't going to come, isn't going to come undone. So that's the goal there. This is so cute. Remember, we have one more tip to help us with our layers. One more little tip that I'm going to show you in just a second. Oh, you know what I just did? I wondered this. So I cut off my ribbon, and I saw the ribbon that I kept for myself for the kit. It had a splice in it, right there. So now I know why I had an extra piece. I was like, why do I have one extra? That doesn't make any sense. Now I know. So if the splice was close up here or in the middle, I would have put that piece on the first layer so I didn't have to be short, right? If I didn't have to be short, I had obviously a lot of this ribbon because I made kits out of it, but if I didn't have that and I just had a 10-yard roll, and I wouldn't, of course, want to be out, like that landed right where you would totally definitely see it. So I didn't want to have to be used that. Even if I used it on the outside, which I'm very known for, if I have a splice, you would totally see that piece. So I had an extra, but if I didn't, right, if that splice was kind of in here, I would put that on the outside and no one would even know it's there, and I'd feel totally confident about just leaving it there, right? It would be totally fine. So sometimes, you know, in your wreath making, you gotta find ways that make it work for you. So here's my word for 2024 is focus. Okay? My word for 2024 is focus. My phrase is no excuses. Okay? No excuses. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. It might not be a way that I can do right now. It might not be a way that I could do next month. But there's got to be a way to do what I need to do, okay? There's got to be a way. So my focus, see there? My focus is on finding a way rather than just be negative about it and just, you know, move on, right? I'm trying my hardest. I've lived my whole life. Now here we go. Talking about stuff that maybe not you might not be interested in, but I went my whole life just making excuses, being what I thought was lazy, even though I did own a very successful business before. By the way, I'm going to do the exact same thing. One thing is different. One thing is different. Before, on the outside, I just pushed that in and pushed straight down. I'm going to, let me just zoom you in here a little bit here. I'm going to specifically, now watch out here, I'm going to specifically move that in. You see how that just brought it in a little bit further? I'm going to specifically move that in and then do my apart and apart. So I'm just kind of accentuating that layer just a little more. Now the first thing we did to help accentuate those layers was number one, I put the pipe cleaner on the outside, close to the outside notch, and I put the pipe cleaner on the inside, close to the inside notch. Now the last thing I'm just going to do is push that in. Perfect. Okay, so I spent a lot of my time, you know, not living a positive life. I'll just say that. A lot of negative. I can't do that. I told my whole life I would make these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scrapbooks. Gorgeous. I had so much fun. It was like therapy to me making these things. They were gorgeous, like wedding albums. Love them. Everybody kept saying, you missed your calling. You should do this for a living. I would help decorate for kids' birthday parties. Why don't you do this? Can we hire you? All this stuff. And I'd always say the same thing. I would always say the exact same thing. You can't make money selling crafts. And you want to know why I said that? Because I never tried. I never even tried. I just thought no one I know is going to pay $40 for per page in a scrapbook, right? And you ask any one of my friends who I gave, by the way, spent sometimes 40 and 60 hours on their scrapbooks for their wedding. Ask them what their favorite wedding gift was. Ask them. They'll tell you. I have, even years later, Even years later, I have just recently, one of the gals sent me a picture that she and her husband or her child were going through it, and she said, this is still, I got goosebumps, this is still my favorite gift. Hours and hours. And I thought, no one's going to pay for that. Well, I was very wrong. Now, I haven't gone back to make scrapbooks, although I have not given up because I still have all my paper. It is still nice and neat in my basement. And one day, I keep saying one day. Anyways, that's my 2 cents here. Okay, our sign is already prepped. We did that in the instruction video, okay? I added my 2 pieces of our zip tie mounts. For a short time being, I haven't been using my my staple gun because it does not like me at the moment. So I went back to using these. I did use a little teeny tiny bit of DAP Rapid glue again. Check it out in the video. Lots of information there. I'm just going to snip off our thingy here, and I'm going to add our pipe cleaners to the back of our sign to slip it in. Now this gets to be the trickiest part, okay? Weaving this mesh in through all those, pipe cleaners, through all those layers of mesh can sometimes be the trickiest part. That is, the pipe cleaner is 2, I think it's just 2, yeah, it's 2 little teeny tiny wires wound together, and every single time they want to split and catch on one of those little pieces of mesh. So that's why I say it's it's always the part that kind of, makes me a little, a little frustrated there. Okay, let's zoom us back out here. Now I'm going to place my sign. Now okay, let me slow down. Look at how cute that's going to be. It's so cute. I'm going to, okay, let me flip this over just a second. So you see here where there's extra holes. Remember, that didn't have a notch coordinating, so we didn't use it. Okay, it didn't have a notch coordinating, so we didn't use it. So there's 2 holes here, or 4 there and 2 here. Now, that could be to help you attach your sign, okay? So if I just move it like this, then I have 1, 2, 3. Nice triangle. 1, 2, 3. Right? Let me see what that looks like when I flip it over. I want this to go here. And so, that'll work. Okay. I want my pipe cleaners, I want my pipe cleaners to be hidden by my sign. So my sign, when it's a rectangle, has to cover 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my bow is going to cover the other 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 2 for my bow. So I'm going to set this here for just now. Look at how stinking cute that is. Oh, I got to tell you, I was nervous about not using the buffalo plaid on the ribbon outside. Like I was nervous about it being a different kind of plaid pattern. This is darling. It's not too much. It's the perfect blend. Okay. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to go to our bow for now. Y'all, these spring ones, I just did one also. It was the rain boot kit. It had a little sign that said welcome, and it had little rain boots over here, and the ribbon had little rain boots. It's so pretty. It turned out so cute. It had polka dots in a lot of the things. So cute. Okay, the good thing about our design is the bow recipe is the same. If I'm teaching or making or kit a pancake wreath that has a rectangle sign, 9.9 times out of 10 the bow is going to be the same size. So once you learn it, once you've seen it, once you've watched it, once you've mastered it, you got it. Okay, you got it. So we're going to start with our, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit closer to the actual bow to make that easier. Here we go. Okay. Now, sorry. The bow, the first tail. 7 inches on the first tail. 7. Okay, now remember you have with the kit, you have a specific amount of ribbon to use. So if you're using it, if you're making it bigger, you might not have enough. So follow the instructions for this kit. If you have, if you're making your own, you can totally do however big, however small. Okay, 7 inches on the tail, 6 inches on the loop. 7 inches on the tail, 6 inches on the loop. And I'm gonna pinch, pinchy, pinchy, pinch. I'm gonna pull this apart. I'm gonna twist so that I can see the front, the pretty part. I'm gonna bring it to the back for another loop. Okay, take my finger off here, grab the next layer, or grab that next part, and just scrunch it up. I'm gonna twist again. Okay, so I can see the pretty side. Bring it up, make it kind of level, even. Take my finger off, grab it again, pinch, and then one last twist. Okay, one last twist. I'm gonna put that in there. Y'all, I have pretty bad carpal tunnel, so I can't hold them in between because my hands don't like me when I do that. So I'm just gonna place this a little bit. Now the tails are the longest part of my bow. Those are gonna come off the edge here. Okay, they're gonna come off the edge of my wreath, coming down off the bottom. All right, just gonna trim that a little bit. Now again, don't forget to go to learnfrommelissa.com, sign up for our emails, be on our text message list, be up to date on all the new videos that come out. Make sure you're subscribed. Please subscribe to our YouTube and our Facebook and all those things, so that you can be updated every time we have a new video, or we're live, we have a new class, new tutorial, all those things. Okay, again, a little tiny bit smaller as I go in, a little tiny bit smaller. Pinch, same thing. Twist, loop. Now, even though this is just a solid lavender ribbon, the stitching is a little different on the back, so I'm just gonna make sure I'm twisting those, and so that I have that pretty stitching on the front. Pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop. The 2 loops are over here. I'm going to make sure the 2 loops go opposite on the next layer. I'm going to do that every single time. 2 loops go opposite. Okay, and then just so that you can kind of have a visual how it's going to be fluffed. Sorry. I don't know what's gotten into my throat this video, sorry. And then of course, look at how cute the color on this. Now here's where I did bring in the buffalo plaid, right? Look at how cute the color is on, well, you can't see, but almost. Look at how cute the color is on the trucks, on the sign. It's just the same. It's so cute. It's so cute, right? So I brought that buffalo plaid in just a different, slightly different way. Again, making everything a little bit smaller as I go along, teeny tiny bit, so that when I look at the top of that bow, I'll be able to see all those layers. Super cute. Pinch, twist, and loop. This is a nice and bright color. I don't know if you want to call it aqua. I don't know. It's really pretty. Sea green. I don't know. It's really pretty. Pinch, twist, loop. Again, now my 2 loops are going to go on this side, making it opposite. Cutting that off, making sure. Now, typically, I'll cut those once I get in the bow. I'm sorry, the bow in the wreath, because then you can really see, but like I might cut that one a little bit shorter in the future. Oopsie. Keeping that the same there. Okay, so let me just talk this through in my head, because the last couple times I've done it, it's been upside down, and I don't want them to be upside down, so I'm going to see which way I start with. So this one is going to go this way, that will be upside down. So I'm going to start with, here we go. This is important. I didn't take the time to do this in the last couple videos, and I kept looking at it and it's driving me crazy. I'm going to start with the ribbon with the bunnies going this way, facing me, okay? And if I do it opposite again, I'm just going to cry. I'm going to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to find a different way. Remember, I was just talking about that. Okay, so my tail's going to come down. This one has just a little tiny 3-inch loop at the top. This is going to help me hide my pipe cleaner. So I'm going to pinch that. Okay, and then I'm going to twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop. Come on, guy. Pinch, twist, loop, pinch, and twist. Now, I needed my 2 loops to go this way, and therefore my one loop is going to go up. The tails ended up opposite, so with the tail that comes down, I wanted the bunny to be looking at me, right? Not upside down. So that meant, if I got all that right, that these loops are going to be upside down, and I don't want that either. So all I'm just going to do is go underneath here, and I'm just going to twist that. I'm going to twist it. Just twist it around. It'll be okay. Okay, just like that. Put it right down in there, right on top. Push. Okay, there we go. That is a good tip, okay? That's a good tip. Now I'm going to make sure now I'm looking at this layer, the buffalo plaid layer. Now I need to get my pink ribbons in between there. I want that one to come down here, this to go there, this to go over here, this to go over there, just like that. And I can lift it up and attach it. So when I'm making bows by myself, I do use a zip tie. Okay, my hands, I have super bad carpal tunnel. I know, I should totally have the surgery. I know. But I haven't yet. So when I'm by myself, I do use a zip tie. But we're going to tie as tight as we can with our pipe cleaner. So I'm going to lift that up, make sure it's nice and tight. Now look at that stack. It's perfect for me. Adding my pipe cleaner right to the top. And again, that little loop on the top is going to do all the work and hide our pipe cleaner, because we don't want to see the pipe cleaner in the bow. Nice and tight there. There we go. Okay. And then we're just going to make sure we're fluffing the way we need to. Pull that up nice and straight. Okay. Super duper cute. Super duper cute. Always a little bit bigger than I always remember. I think I make them a little bit bigger than I tell you I am. Okay. It's going to end up right down here. Perfect. Let's zoom you out a little bit more and get this all assembled. Here we go. Okay, set this aside for just a minute. I'm going to get our pipe cleaners in. Now I'm going to take this. I don't want to move it. I want it to stay right here. I don't want it to shift. I don't want it to move. I don't want it to anything. I need to take those pipe cleaners and go straight through. Now remember when I said the fabric mesh is my favorite feel, because it is so much nicer, it is softer on my hands. But it is also the one that is the worst to get the pipe cleaners through. So I'm going to do my best to do that here. And I'm not moving mesh out of the way. I am using it to help keep everything in place. And then when I get this through, I'm going to get them through on both sides before I attach it. So let's get this through on this side. Just a little bit easier when that happens and you get it through on both sides before you really kind of tighten it. And I do want to tighten it. I do want it to sink in there and be nice and tight. So what happens is right now our mesh, nice and fluffy. Well, I mean, I know it's flat, but it's still fluffy, okay? After this sign sits on that mesh, the mesh is going to conform and it's going to flatten. So what you don't want is next year, when your customer takes out her or his wreath, you don't want the sign to feel loose then, because what happened underneath was the mesh flattened, okay? And therefore making it feel loose. So if I tie it as tight as not as tight as I can, but if I sink it down in there, remember this is a pancake wreath. So if I sink it down in there nice and snug, right, then I don't have to worry about it feeling like that to my customer next year. Okay, nice and tight, flipping it over. Okay, so what I could have done, you see that extra hole there? What I could have done was I could have added this pipe cleaner and brought it through that hole just to make it a little easier. I didn't, but I could have if I needed to. Let's say my pipe cleaner wasn't really long, or I just, just for whatever reason wanted to. I could have done that. Let me turn this around this way. Again, just making sure that it's nice and straight. Good. Now you see why I didn't bother to play with my ribbons just yet, because we're flipping it inside, outside. They're not going to stay perfect like if I was making them perfect through the design, and so I'd have to do it all over again. So nice and clean back here. It isn't going to fall, it isn't going to shake, it isn't going to nothing. It's going to stay right in place. I love that. I love that. And then also, again, just making sure that it actually did cover my 4 pipe cleaners, right? So my bow is going to go right here. Perfect little spot. Perfect. And then I'm going to put that right down in exactly how I did the sign. So you might not see the under because I don't want to smush, well, I probably smush the bow, but I don't want to. Okay, putting that right in there. Snuggle, come on. You can do it. Get all the way through. It's caught. I can feel it. Ugh. There we go. Trickiest part. Once you get that part, you're good. Okay. So you make sure it is perfect. All right. Tying that around the frame just like I did the sign. Perfect. There we go. Hide that in there. Good job. And then again, so 2 last things. I'm gonna fluff our bow to make sure our bow goes everything in the right direction. Okay. And not covering the Easter words too much. It might cover the sign a little bit, but I don't want it to cover it too much. Okay, make sure our outer tails are going the right direction. Everything looks good out here. Okay, perfect. Good deal. And the very last thing is I'm going to make sure all of our tails, nothing is hidden. Everything is spaced nicely. Everything, you can see all of them. Nothing is curled under like that. I want to make sure they're all facing forward. I'm all facing up, all at attention, all giving each other their own space. So I want to be able to pick this up right from the table, walk right over to the door, turn the lights on, and take a picture. Okay, I want to be able to do that easily. Quickly and easily. Perfect. Now it's going to go down a little bit more. Come out a little bit more. Absolutely darling. Y'all, I love this. It is really cute. Of course, I'm a pink person, so it tickles my fancy for sure. Nice layered look there. Totally love it. Again, this was a kit. There are still a few available if you're looking for them. If you're looking for some spring, summer. I actually have 2 people that buy from the boutique where I sell 2 people that specifically come in and ask for truck. They want the new truck design for that holiday. I don't know why, because I was for sure trucks were phasing out. But apparently, you know, when you invest so much in your decor, and you know, not a lot of people want to, you know, flip that every year. So trucks have been in for so long. 2 gals that shop at the boutique, they come in specifically looking for trucks. And I feel really bad because I did sell I only had one St. Patrick's Day truck wreath, and it sold before I got it over to the boutique. So I feel really bad on that. But anyways, I love making these. These are so cute. Again, the last couple that I've made, so cute. This is darling. I totally love it. Super duper cute. Also, if you purchase one of our mystery kits, our mystery Easter kits, there was not this one, but there was something very similar in those Easter kits. I'm not sure, or the mysteries. So I'm not sure if those are still available or not. But I know I do have a couple of this specific one left. It is darling. Y'all, don't forget, learnfrommelissa.com. I'll give you a list of so many great resources, our social medias, our favorite suppliers, a list of our favorite tools, some free videos that are really super cool. Lots of things over there at learnfrommelissa.com. You can find our text message list. When you go to learnfrommelissa.com, you put in your email address first, so that we'll add you to our email list, and you will be first to be notified when we do have new kits that come out. We always send an email to our list first when we have new, so you get first dibs on all the goodies. Y'all, thank you very much for following. Thank you very much for subscribing, and for all the things, commenting, asking questions, all that stuff helps our business so much. So I appreciate you for doing all those things. Until I see you again, thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye, y'all.